Response. Wow. I will let you decide. You tell me the clean joke or the dirty joke.
Dirty.
Dirty. Well, what a complete and total surprise. A dirty joke then. Sue, you're up. I got you covered if need be. Quite witty, eh? Hey, Sue. How about if I tell them the dirty joke you just told me minutes ago?
Sure.
Perhaps I should clean it up some.
Maybe.
I think that would be best. Here's Sue's joke, all cleaned up for your entertainment pleasure. You're not buying any of this crap. A man and a woman are on Rodeo Drive, and they go into one of these fancy fur shops there. The woman is probably 20, 25 years younger than the man. The salesman comes out and says, "Can I help you?" The man says, "Yes, we would like to look at all of your finest fur coats, please." So the salesman brings out a couple of coats. The guy says, "You know, I don't think you understood me. These aren't good enough for the lady. We would like to see the finest coat you've got in the store." He says, "I'm very sorry, sir." And he brings out this beautiful mink stole. She tries it on. It looks great on her. The guy says, "It's very nice." She seems to like it. "How much is it?" The salesman says, "It's $65,000. And it says, "Well, nothing's too good for the lady. We'll take it. Please wrap it up." So as he's wrapping it up, the man says to the salesman, "You will take a check, won't you?" He says, "Ooh, you know, that's not our usual manner of business. It's such a large amount of money. It's Friday afternoon already. The banks have closed, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take a check. When it clears on Monday, you can come pick up the coat." Guy says, "That's fine with us. Great." Writes a check for 65 grand. They pay and they leave. Monday afternoon rolls around. He comes into the fur shop. Salesman sees him, immediately leaps over the counter and lunges at the guy. He says, "I can't believe you came back here. That check you wrote me was worthless. There wasn't a penny in the account. I can't believe you're standing here. What gives?" The guy says, "Well, you know, I wasn't going to come back, but I felt that I had to thank you for the best weekend of my life." Sue's joke, ladies and gentlemen. That's Sue's joke. So I opened a checking account today. Anyway, you guys ready for a show?
Yes.
Excellent. Boy, are you in for a treat. You're about to meet a longtime favorite of ours here at the Magic Castle, and for a good reason. He creates all of his own original magic effects, so you will see magic in here you've never seen anybody else perform. This is the type of magic that has gained him fame worldwide. He's performed on television in 11 different countries, and we've brought him here for you. Please make him feel welcome. How about a gigantic round of applause for Jerry Andrus?
I'd like to show you what I call a perfect illusion. It's not literally perfect, but that's a yellow on that plastic, which turns into a ball. You will all recall, remember, first it was flat like that. First it was flat. And then it was the illusion of the yellow ball. There it is.
Yes.
You see, I formed this into a cone around my left index finger like this. Now, it is empty. The only thing I have to be careful about, if the hole gets too large, the ball can get out. We'll roll this into a tube instead of a cone. You can see that the ball is still in there. Now, if I put one hand over each end of the tube, we all know it is literally impossible for that ball to get out unless it is indeed flat like that. Let me explain what happened. You see, I formed this into a cone, and we have the perfect illusion of the yellow ball. Can I get you to turn and slide right up the table and over that way a little? There we go. Now slide right up the table. Thank you very much. You know, when I was trying to figure out some way to vanish a rubber ball, I thought of having it go up my left sleeve. Obviously, that's not very practical. Well, I discovered a very simple way to vanish a rubber ball. I discovered zone zero. Apparently, no one ever thought of it before. This is zone zero, and whatever goes through the hole into zone zero, it instantly vanishes. Whatever goes through the hole into zone zero, it instantly vanishes. Now, the beautiful part about it, it's sort of like a functional black hole. See, I can reach right in here and retrieve it. this, and I discovered that ball doesn't actually vanish when it goes through the hole. It's when I take my hand out that it's gone. I'm talking about totally, completely, absolutely gone, but always instantly. Now, if what I do as a magician doesn't primarily fool you, then obviously I'm not doing my proper job as a magician. But if I do or say anything to make anyone feel foolish, then I'm not doing my proper job as a human being. I'm going to pause and tell you why I can probably fool you. I can probably fool you because you are the most incredibly wonderful thing that I know of that exists in the universe. And that's a human being, and you have a wonderful human mind that works about like my wonderful human mind. And this thing inside our head takes care of all these rote decisions for us. You do not look at an automobile and wonder what it is. You don't look at a house and wonder if it's a facade for a movie. You assume that the back of the house is there. And so we constantly are jumping to conclusions, and we're almost always right. I hope you don't hate card tricks. Now, if you haven't seen this, it will probably fool every one of you. You'll instantly agree with the absolute only reason it fools you is because you are knowledgeable and perceptive. Now, I doubt if any one of you has wondered if that was really a deck of cards, or do you suppose it's just a transparent block of plexiglass? The reason that fools you is because you are knowledgeable and perceptive. You know what a deck of cards is. What if your mind had wondered if that was a block of plexiglass? We couldn't exist that way. We must accept. If you were primitive people, and I did this, and said, ha ha, I fooled you. You didn't fool me. You took something out and showed me that one part of it was transparent. So we're fooled because we're wonderful. And I mentioned that we constantly feel in the other side of everything. Some of you may have filled in something about me. It isn't precisely what it seems. I'm 81 years old. I am very farsighted, and I do have to wear glasses. But I happen to have on contacts, and there are no glasses. You don't need to feel foolish because you didn't notice that. Picture what your life would be like. I can't see any reflection in these glasses. If I spent my life wondering whether there were glasses in people's frames, I couldn't function at all. Now, I'm not going to make any fast motions whatsoever. I'm not going to get you to look over here while I'm secretly doing something here. But I want you to watch every move I make. Wait a minute, I don't need these. I want you to take out any card you'd like. Don't let me see what it is. Put your initials on the face of it. Then hold the card so I can't see the face. Okay? Oh, okay, fine. Put your card, yeah, put your card in. Leave it protruding so you know it's still there, okay. Well, there's her card. Now, if I push it in and cut or shuffle, you wouldn't have any idea. We know where the card is about, down in the center of the deck. Have you ever heard of telekinesis? Mental control of physical objects. Now, I don't believe in it like that, but let's pretend you have that power. I want you to think of any real small number. Make it between 1 and 5, otherwise it'll take too long. And tell us the number you're thinking of.
3.
You're thinking of 3. Now, 1, 2, 3. The third card is the 8 of clubs. Third card is 8 of clubs. You take the deck. Now I want you to mentally move your card from where you put it to the number 3 from the top. Okay? Good. Now, I haven't shuffled the card. If your card with your initials is the third card from the top, you get all the credit. Okay? Okay, deal 3 cards, one at a time, face up on my hand. Do you remember the name of your card?
I think.
Could you tell us, please? All right? You don't need to. That's all right. I forget cards all the time. No problem. No problem. Deal one at a time. You'll recognize it. Get them one at a time. One at a time you'll recognize because that's your initial on it. 2, 3. Is that your card with your initial?
That must have had something to do with the
Nervous. I was
glasses,
like, oh,
right,
it wasn't
Jerry?
I, it wasn't I.
Right.
Do you want some more wine?
Let me show you something I discovered many years ago. You take the aces, now these have some aces on them. Put them all together in the center and leave them protruding. And many, many years ago, you realized that I discovered that I could just simply wave my hand over the deck like this and those 4 aces would physically come to the top. Would you deal the 4 top cards face up on my hand, please? One more.
One more, Sue.
Now that looked good, but I could have had 4 other aces on top already, right? With these initials. I didn't have, but I could have had. So why don't you initial the ace of hearts? Don't get it near the edge, please. Just a 1. That's all right. Now, before I did it the easy way, I simply waved my hand around.
Oh, come on.
Now I'm going to do it the hard way. I want you to take the aces and put them in 4 widely separated places in the deck and leave them protruding. Tell you what, put them in face up so there can be no trigger. Now she's put the 4 aces in 4 different places in the deck. If I push the aces flush, and if I could cup the cards so fast the human eye couldn't see, transpose the 2 halves, I could get one of her aces to the bottom and top. But if I did that, this bottom card, the king of clubs, would change, and the top card, the 6 of clubs, would change. Now she's put the 4 aces face up in the deck in 4 different places. Here's what I propose to do. Totally impossible it sounds. I'm merely going to snap my finger like that, and I think you'll all have to agree that indeed that 6 is on top, the king is on the bottom. You take the cards, and deal the 4 top cards face up on my hand, including your ace with your initials.
Good one, Jerry.
You know what? I think maybe you had better initial the other 3. Now we have had all 4 of those aces initialed. I didn't pay any particular attention. The top ace is the ace of diamonds. Would you take the cards and could you follow my instructions exactly, please? Turn the top ace face down on the deck. Now would you deal the 4 aces face down in a pile here? Next 4 cards face down in a pile there, and then you hold on to the deck. Now obviously, if I never cover these cards and get these cards near these cards, there's no way known to man that I can switch them. It is impossible. Just put these on the bottom if you would. Would you deal the next 4 cards face down in a pile, please? Now, I want you to watch every move I make. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, could you conceive of any possible way, without getting these together, for me to get those aces? She dealt every card that she dealt. She initialed it over here. Doesn't seem possible, does it? And she can verify the fact that over here.
That's great.
And you will indeed need to verify the fact that those are your aces with your initial.
Yep. Yes, they are.
You know, sometimes people wonder, Jerry, how on earth do you do these things? Let me give you an example. Here are the aces that she's initialed. I'm working on a thing where I squeeze those aces down to infinity. And they vanish, and they go right here in my inside pocket. And here are your 4 aces. You know, I'm a magician, but I've been thinking about going into holistic medicine with more money in that than magic. You've heard of acupuncture where they push needles in you? Have you ever heard of acupressure? Now watch close. Some people think there are pressure pointers treatment for disease. I don't believe in anything like that, but let me show you what I've discovered. I've discovered that if I press right here for 3 seconds, that's the perfect treatment for anemia. Now anemia lack iron, right? This is far, far better because you get Bet you don't believe in mental telepathy. Maybe it'll work. I'm going to try to read your mind. I'm going to have you think of a word. It doesn't have to be a concrete word like house. It can be an abstract word. And I want you to take a card that has plenty of room to write and print it large right across the center of the card. Show them the card first, but don't let anybody see the word you print. Now you're going to say, wait a minute, why does he want it printed on a card? He's going to get a peek of it. You be wary of that. Okay, you...
This doesn't actually have to be a word, it can just be...
No, a word.
A word.
A word. So you take a card that has plenty, don't take one that already has a word on it. Take one that has plenty of room. You got the card?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now show them the card, but don't let them see the word you printed on.
I haven't printed the word yet.
I know that. I'm not going to. You print the word, just don't let them see it.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Hold the card so I can't possibly see the word.
All right.
Bring it up between your hands. Now look, I don't have any mirrors on my fingers. Slide it carefully in the deck. Leave it protruding so you know it's still there. Okay, now if I push it in that far, they can't see the word if I tip it up, can they? Here's the card she put the word on. I have absolutely no idea what that is. Now obviously if I were to spread these cards out far enough, someplace in here, we would come to her word. Now, I hope it isn't this card here. It's not that card. Okay, you hold the cards between your hands and concentrate on the word. I don't want any help. I don't want any clues. Why am I thinking of arc? Arc? Bark? Dark. Is that it?
Yes.
Oh, what card's it on?
The 7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds. Let's check. 7 of diamonds. By golly, there it is. Got it.
You picked a safe word.
I don't.
Have you ever wondered what a magician does when he makes a mistake? Take out any card you'd like. Show it to them and don't let me see it. Now, if I put her card back here in the center of the deck, and then if I very carefully squared the cards like this, now if I said to her, here's your card, I'll put it on the bottom, she would probably say I was wrong. That's not your card, is it? Watch. Here's what a magician does when he makes a mistake. Then I would slowly pass my hand over the ace of spades, right in front of your very eyes. I'm going to deal any card that you think of to any number that he thinks of without you telling me the card or him telling me the number. That doesn't sound possible. Take the deck, take out any card you'd like and put your initials on the face of it. Hand me the deck. Take a card out and hand me the deck. Oh, did you have the initial?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll take the card. I'm going to put it well down in the deck and you'll understand why. There's her card. It's a little bit past 40, maybe. If I give you the choice of any number between 1 and 52, and you pick a number anywhere near 40, that's no good, because that's where we know her card is right now. Would you consider it fair if I give you the choice of any number between 10 and 35?
11.
No, don't tell me the number.
Okay.
Oh.
That's my fault. My fault. So think of any number between 10 and 35. Don't tell anybody, but stop me when I come to your number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Stop.
13? And would you agree that you could have stopped me at 14 or 15 or any of these cards here?
Right.
What was the card you put your initial on? Do you recall?
3 of spades.
Would you shuffle the cards? I just barely have time for one more. Now this is going to be your last chance to catch me. Now have her take out any cards she likes.
Pick a card.
Put your initial on the face of it and I'll take the deck. If this card weren't initialed, if it weren't initialed, you'd say, oh, that's impossible. It couldn't be the same card. I'll take the card, but there is no other card on earth like this. I don't know what the card is, but it has her initial on it. And watch where I put her card. Right there in the center of the deck. And I want you to watch when I push her card in. Doesn't that look eminently fair? Could you conceive of any